Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day. It's this Thursday the 25th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame, figured out what day it was right away, which was very helpful, so I was good with that. So definitely excited that happened. Went ahead, got up. It was kind of strange to have any dogs in the house. Their dog already went home last night, whatever, so I was kind of here by myself. I thought I had the whole day off from dogs, and I'd forgotten what day Bistro was getting dropped off. You guys getting dropped today. I thought it was tomorrow, but it's supposed to be late in the evening, or late afternoon, early evening, I guess. And they'd reached out pretty early on in the day, asked if they could drop them off earlier. Then it becomes that whole chasing back and forth of how early, when do you want, that's the soonest. And like, you tell me, like, I'd like to drop them off now or as early as I can. Would be much more helpful and stuff. So told him I said I had to take my father-in-law up to meet my wife, because she was going with him to a couple of doctor's appointments up north, and instead of making her drive all the way here to the house and get him, then drive back to work and then go north, I was just gonna drop him off at her work for him, which would make her safer. I don't know, probably half an hour, a little more, maybe not even, because by the time she got here, got him out of the house because he's never ready, and then got him loaded in the car and got back to work. It's at least half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, more like it, to make that. So I saved her 45 minutes. So I had to leave work that much earlier than she would have had to. So I said, best I can do is I gotta go over and do that about noon-ish. I think it was 11 o'clock. I can't remember what time it was. Maybe it was 10 o'clock. I don't know what time it was. I was supposed to have them over there. I said, basically, the best I can do is when I get done there and I head back, I can let you know, and then you can drop them off at that time. So that'd be perfect, no big deal, because she was going to take him to a different daycare place for part of the day and then bring him to me in the evening overnight, and I was trying to skip that daycare part for the day. So it makes complete sense. So she took him to the office, left him there at the office with her for a little while, and then I went, decided to take my father-in-law. I said, I'll take the vet. It's a nice enough day. The weather's nice. Top doesn't go up on the vet. I mean, it does. I don't do it. So went ahead, and it doesn't have a heater, so I don't take it out much when it's cold. But I thought I'll take him there. It'd be kind of a little bit fun for him. He seems to enjoy the rides in the vet more than he does the little truck. So I was like, no problem. So I basically fired up the Corvette, pulled across streets to make him walk across, because he's been, I guess his back's been bothering him and stuff, and he's been kind of complaining about not moving around much, which a lot is because he doesn't move around at all. So when you don't exercise, you don't move, which is one of the reasons why I run every single day, even when I'm sick, even when I'm injured. I had a bone sticking out the side of my ankle, like my ankle bone was exposed. Bone, ground off part of bone. I ran that day. The day it happened, I ran that day, because I know if I skip a day, I'm likely to skip 2 days. If I skip 2 days, I might as well skip 4. If I skip 4 days, I must skip 8 days. Next day, I'm 300 plus pounds again. So, or in his case, just unable to move because he isn't doing damn thing. So what do you do? So I thought, well, this will force him to kind of move around a little bit. Climbing in and out of the vet, not the easiest thing in the world to do either. So that'll help kind of motivate him there as well. But went ahead, got him in the car. I just pulled up in the yard, so it's close to the door, because it seemed like he having trouble walking down to me. So he got in the car, headed up, and I kind of just, every once in a while, I'll drive. Most of the time I drive pretty normal and pretty plain, but every once in a while I kind of get on it here and there and let him push back in the seat a little bit here and there, kind of thing. Flip the corner every now and then, just kind of, I don't know, for the fun of it, basically, lack of a better term. And he was asking about what size motor the car had and whatnot, and I told him, and then I told him it's 5.7 liter, and his last Nissan was 1.8, so it's, you know, over twice the size of his Nissan. And I said, but my Suburban is running a 454 in it, so it's a big boy motor. This is only 350 cubic inches, and that's another 104 cubic inches on top of that. So it's got basically almost another Nissan motor on top of your Nissan motor, so it's like 3 Nissan motors almost. And I said, and when this motor blows up, which is someday it will, it'll probably end up with a 502 cubic inch, or maybe in a 572 cubic inch motor, just because you can. He's like, well, why does anybody need that big of a motor? It's like, same reason everybody needs a big motor, because it's a really small penis. You gotta make up for it somehow. So we basically headed over and had a little fun driving the car over, just kind of playing around, having a good time. Got in there, dropped him off, and I got in there plenty early, because I hate being late, and I never know if it's gonna take him 1 minute to get outside, or it's gonna take him 10 minutes to get outside. So, which makes it a little bit worse. I got there, but I went in and popped the car open for him, kicked the doors open so he had some fresh air, so he wouldn't suffocate in the car, and it's not that hot out, so he's fine. Actually, I called my wife and said, hey, so you know your dad's in the car, he's here, the doors are open, he's alive. And she was like, oh, you're early. I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather be early than late, you know, so that's who I am. So I basically head back home. On the way home, I swing by the mechanic shop that I'm hoping will do the work on my Suburban. and hadn't heard from them. They were supposed to stop by and look at it. Instead of dragging it over to them, which I offered to do, it's on the way home for both of them, so they could just kind of tag team up and stop by and look at it on the way home and give me a quote of what they think or if they want to take on the job. And I stopped back in today, not trying to bug you and stuff, but you got there, we haven't got there. He goes, honestly, I kind of forgot about it. He goes, it would have popped in my head eventually. I would have remembered it. He goes, but everything else going on, perfectly glad you stopped by. So they said, I'll stop by this evening. I said, okay. And they said like 4:30 or 4:35, whatever. They roll in about 6, but it's all good. So after that, I get back home, text the owner of the dog. She came, dropped dog off. Dog's chilling out. We're having a good time. Everybody's having fun. Heard from another client, I don't know, late afternoon, whatever. He wanted to drop his dog off. I guess he's going to some, I don't know, some drug ceremony thing, some religious experience deal. So it sounds like ayahuasca, but it's something else. It starts with a C. I don't know what it was. He told me what it was, but I don't care. So, but I guess apparently he thought he was going to take his dog there to go do it, and found as he's like last second realized that he's going to be hallucinating and like puking and shit all over himself or whatever kind of thing. Won't be able to. They're like, you shouldn't bring your dog here because you won't be able to take care of yourself. You can't take care of your dog. So he was scrambling around last minute. He wanted to drop the dog off tomorrow. And I'm like, I can't really guarantee tomorrow before noon because I gotta take my father-in-law to the doctor, and that I can't guarantee you back by noon. And he was like, well, I don't know, okay, blah, blah. I said, best I can do for you, drop her off tonight, and then basically pick her up Sunday when you're back to normal human form, whatever you want to call it. And he's like, oh shit, that'll work. So went ahead and we agreed that we would go ahead and do that as well. So, hey, I'm walking here. But I reached out and I said, hey, that's fine. Hit me up with a heads up when you're heading over. He said, not a problem. So we got that all squared away early in the day. Went for my run, got myself back, got a shower, went ahead, and wife got home from work. We were chilling out a little bit. We were making up some dinner, decided to do something simple. She wanted ramen noodles again. I ended up doing my soup and basically just chilling out with it. Got the soup knocked out. I was heating my soup up first round. She was doing her ramen, and I kept checking to see if they were showing up to look at the truck. So I kind of went my run about 4:30. Got back thinking, well, hopefully I'll get back. They'll be out there, and we'll kind of talk it over. And I don't really need to be there, but I wanted to kind of see what they thought. I wanted to hear what they're thinking on it and whatnot too. So I looked out and they were out there. So I ran out real quick while my soup was finished in the microwave. Went out, talked to them. We kind of looked it all over, pointed out a bunch of flaws and a bunch of screw ups and just complete and utter inadequacy. Like just, they used duct tape to tape the duct hoses, like the vent hoses and stuff for the air conditioning. It's a wrong size belt, doesn't even fit in the groove. They're running the air conditioner compressor off the water pump, which the compressor pulls too much torque to turn it, has to go off the crank only, which I had told them, you just go off the crank, and they're like, oh, okay, we'll make sure we do that, and then didn't. So yeah, and then on top of not having it off the water pump only, which means, by the way, air conditioner doesn't turn when it's too much pressure, means my water pump don't turn, which means water pump turn means my motor blows up because it gets overheated. So it becomes a major flaw. So, but point out a bunch of things. I'm not trying to nitpick your truck. I said, no, 100%. If you weren't spotting these things and telling me what's wrong, I don't want you working on my shit. Like, I want you to notice all this shit so we can fix it and do it correctly, because I'm going to pay you to do it right, because I didn't, at the time when I first talked to you, you were months and months out to get me in. I didn't go to you and somebody else who said they'd get me in sooner, which there's a reason. You can have it fast, you can have it cheap, or you can have it right. And you got to pick one. You can't have all three. Never going to have all three. You might be able to get it right, you might be able to get it cheap, but it'll take years. You might be able to get it fast, you might be able to get it right, but it'll never be cheap. And you might be able, it is what it is. So I found a guy who completely got out past his skis, did not know what he was doing, and instead of just admitting he didn't know what he was doing, sometimes comes this weird fucked up level of pride that they think, oh, I'm just going to keep going, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to eventually figure out how to do this shit. Never figured it out, and then basically slapped it back together and pushed it out the door, which at that point I was just happy to get my rig back from being kidnapped. I was paying the ransom and getting my stuff back, and at a later point in life I'll decide if it's worth suing the guy over doing complete shoddy work. Like, this thing was 100% like unsafe, and like so many major problems that just, I brought it home and didn't even look. I was so disgusted by it and so annoyed by the whole thing. I didn't want nothing to do with it at all. And then they got here, looked over, and man, there are some major problems. So it makes me really feel like it does definitely need to be some kind of lawsuit against him, which again, lawsuit, small claims is bullshit. I'll get a judgment, I'll never pay it. best case scenario, I might get him to revoke his license. Best case scenario, but we're seeing money. So got done talking to those guys. He said he'd get back to me with an estimate, kind of gave me a ballpark where it was, which is a lot of money. But he said it would have been cheaper if he didn't have to fix that guy's ropes, because he would have started from scratch. I said, dude, treat it like it's starting from scratch. Just start over and just throw all this shit away. The hose and stuff. Like, there's dumb things that shouldn't have been there, but kind of is what it is. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We're in that whole world and process of, yeah, it's a thing. So, but yeah, in my radiator that never leaked the whole time I had it, now leaks. In the process of taking it out, they broke a fin on it that now leaks, which is amazing. So I'm getting a new radiator, which I would like to have had anyway, if that was something I was going to do 3 months or 6 months on the road, do it at my own leisure. But now we're going to put a new radiator in it, because why not? Then I got to put new fans on it, because just now I'm pulling air conditioner, heat off, and there's a bunch of things. So, but these guys have done this kind of stuff. They know this work. They seem competent. The stuff they're working on is way nicer than my shit. So people keep taking stuff to them, and they, from what I can tell, they have become a little bit of that shop that they're super far out, but once you take it somewhere else and you give up that they can't get it right, they'll bring it to you. They got a truck in there now they're working on that's about to be wrapped up, that I think they said went through 4 different shops and never could get it right, and it's at them now, and it's basically they're finishing up the last bits of it, and it'll be heading out. So that makes me feel even more confident. But I'm gonna pay for these guys. Like, they're good. It's not gonna be cheap, but I don't give a shit. I don't need cheap. I need correct. Now, I don't need to be completely screwed over on price, but I need correct. That's what I need. So yeah, that was fun. Went back in, had to finish eating up my soup. My wife had already eaten her ramen by the time the guys left. We watched an episode of Winfield and chilled a little bit. The piggy got dropped off. Dropped her off. She's super happy. She's going inside. She's so excited to get inside the house. We could not wait. And got our stuff, sent him on his way, headed back out. Dogs played, smoked a cigar, and headed back inside finally. Beautiful evening out. Weather is absolutely stunning. And then basically headed back out, or headed back in, ate myself a little bit of snacks, watched a little bit of Atypical, my wife, in bed. We were pretty late. It was like midnight. She should have been asleep already, but she was up. I think she's already been sleeping earlier, but kind of is what it is. So yeah, hung out there and wrapped it up and called it a day. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.